Welcome to Lazy Owl Booktube channel, where I discuss all things books and comic books. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my books that I have read in the last week. Also, there might be a couple of ones from the previous week because I didn't get time to do a week in review video for last week. And I'm also going to share with you my progress on the Bookemon Readathon. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and please click the bell icon if you'd like to know when I post videos. So let's get right into it. This week I read The Night Witches by Garth Ennis and Russ Braun, and I've actually posted a review video, or I will be posting a review video of this very shortly, so if you're interested in that, please check it out. But as a quick summary, this one features these pilots that are nicknamed the Night Witches, and they fly at night, and it's set in World War II. So that was quite a good book. It's quite a long graphic novel. It was quite a lot of reading there for a graphic novel, and it was quite heavy and violent, but it was one that was very educational and something I quite enjoyed, and I'm glad that I read. I also read Emma in the Night by Wendy Walker this week, and that one is a psychological thriller featuring two girls that go missing and then one girl returns 3 years later. I've also got a review video of this one that I'm posting, so please check that out if you're interested. It was quite a good read, and this one I gave 4 stars as well. It was quite interesting. There weren't any major twists or turns with this one, but it was one that I still really enjoyed. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about what that one's about, please check out my review video. And this one I also read for my book club, which will be meeting soon, and hopefully we'll get some really good discussion out of that one. So those are one quite large ones that I finished reading this week, and I must say that it was quite a good reading week this week. I got through some really fun novels and graphic novels this week, and I just felt like it was a really good reading week. One of the graphic novels that I read this week was Birds of Prey Volume 1, that one there. So this is, some of you might be aware that I'm pretty new to DC Comics. I predominantly in the past have read more of Image or Boom or Dark Horse, but I've just started getting into some of the DC and also some of the Marvel comics. Some might think that it's the same as the recent movie Birds of Prey that came out, but this one features more Black Canary. So this particular graphic novel volume follows her, and we do meet some of the other members of Birds of Prey as well, but it mostly focuses on Black Canary, and I really quite enjoyed learning about her backstory. I'm always really interested in the heroines in these type comic books. I think that there's so many heroes out there, and I just really enjoy it when we get to see some of the badass heroine women who really are so interesting and can hold their own weight. That's why I wanted to get into this one. I think this one possibly was published a while ago. The artwork is probably not as good as some of the artwork that I'm used to with Image, some of the Image comics that I've read, but I just felt like the dialogue really held this one through, and I just loved the hero persona, and really it is that dialogue that brings this one through, and the artwork is still really good. It's just probably not the same caliber that I'm used to with some of the other comics that I read, but I'm really enjoying it, and I want to continue reading this. So I do have volume 2, and so I will be giving that one a go in the coming weeks. That one I think I gave 4 out of 5 stars as well. What I forgot to mention is that all my books that are either on my own TBR that I own or that are borrowed from the library meets the criteria of gym training for the Bookemon Readathon. So this one is from my personal TBR, and so that one can mark off that gym training. Also, the Emma in the Night one is a library book, and so that one marks off gym training as well. Two more graphic novels that I read this week, which were also library books, so that is another two that I can mark off as gym training. So these are The Wicked and the Divine, so volume 1 and volume 2. So I read volume 1 quite a while ago actually, and I couldn't really get into it at the time. It wasn't really my thing. I had trouble kind of following what was going on, and it just didn't gel with me at the time. But I recently had a friend recommend it and said that the series really does, the story in particular really does develop with the later volumes, and that it's worth giving a go. So I thought I'll pick these up and I'll give them another go and see if I enjoy it this time around, which I'm so glad that I did, because I actually really enjoyed it this time around. I really enjoyed the artwork. It's really vibrant, really bright, and these particular graphic novels feature these gods who they appear, anyone in the world, normal person will reach a certain time and this old lady kind of appears to them, and then they're kind of awakened and they become these gods, and they all have different kind of special abilities, different things that they can do. But the catch is that after 2 years they will die, and then they will be gone for 90 years, and they will reincarnate again later for another 2 years, and so the cycle continues. So I found this really interesting, and I can see where the story might develop over time. And as I said, I really did enjoy the artwork in these, and I actually really got into the plot and the storyline as well. I was left with a major cliffhanger at the end of volume 2. I just was so shocked at the end of volume 2. If you've read it and you know what I'm talking about, please comment below, because I need to discuss it. It was just so not expecting it whatsoever. So I really need to read volume 3 to see what's going on there, because it just left me in the lurch majorly. So these I'm really enjoying, and I'm glad that I've got like a big long series of graphic novels that I can get into, something that is, the artwork's good, the storyline's good, the characters in them are fun and a lot flawed. And so this is one that, yeah, I recommend, and if you've read them, please comment below. I would love to talk to some other people that are reading these right now, or that have read them in the past, because they've been around for a while, I think. So they're another one that I've read for the Bookemon Readathon. Invisible Kingdom is another graphic novel that was recommended to me, and that's this one here. This is a sci-fi graphic novel, so it's set in this world where there's many worlds, and there's this group of people, they're kind of space couriers and deliver goods to different planets, and it follows these group of space travelers, and they come into contact with this lady who is part of this religious order. And this particular religious order, what you have to do to become part of the religious order is you have to make your way to their monastery or base, whatever you'd call it, and they have to do that blindfolded, and they have to divest themselves of all possessions. So this religious order believes that you should not have possessions. They're totally against consumerism, but there's a little bit more going on there. And this one lady, so she comes into contact with these travelers, these people that courier goods, and as you can imagine, they're kind of on opposite ends, because obviously they're delivering goods, they're part of that consumerism. The artwork in this was really good, and I can tell that there really is a storyline developing here. There's something dodgy going on with, I'm not going to say with what because that will spoil it, but there's more going on than what we first think, and this one is one that I'm definitely wanting to continue. I really just enjoyed the storyline and the characters and the artwork in this. It was great. So that one, I think I would have rated that 5 stars. That was really good, that one, and that's one that I recommend. And that is another one that is a library book, and so is another gym training. Deadly Class is another Image comic, and I found out about this one through a fan group that I follow on Facebook, and it's for fans of Image comics. So this has been around for quite some time. And it's about this boy. He's homeless, and he kind of gets discovered or gets invited into this school for assassins. It's set in the 80s. It has quite a few different references to 80s music and that 80s era. It is quite violent, as you can imagine, being about assassins. It would be quite violent. And the artwork wasn't what I'm used to. It was a little bit different, but it is in keeping with that 80s theme. And I did quite still enjoy the style, even though it wasn't what I normally see, but it was quite refreshing because of that. The storyline's quite good. It's drawing us in, and it's kind of giving little tidbits of information about this main character's backstory, and we quite don't fully know what's gone on with him. We find little bits of information out along the way, and also I'm interested for further volumes in getting to know some of the other characters within this school of assassins. So the main character, he falls in with kind of the outcasts of the school, and they've all each got their own issues, their own problems. So that one I would definitely recommend as well. Probably that one 4 out of 5 stars, and it's one that I would like to continue. One of the categories for the Bookemon Readathon was to read I think the category was called Passionate, and it was to read something that you've been really wanting to get to, really wanting to read. And I really like Brandon Sanderson at the moment. I've read his Mistborn series ages ago, and I've just really always remembered reading that and loving that, and I've read a few more of his recently as well. So I've just started Warbreaker, which there's just one book in this series at the moment, and I'm finding it really interesting. I'm only probably about a quarter of the way through this one, but I really love the original magic system that is in this book, and the magic system is based on colors. Each person has a breath. Everyone is born with a breath, and you can give your breath to somebody else, but nobody can take it from you without your permission, without you willingly giving your breath away. And you can survive without your breath, but obviously life would not quite be the same. So there's certain people in this world that can accumulate a lot of breaths, and therefore they can control this magic, they can control the color. And so the people that have more breaths, they have things like the area immediately surrounding them will be more vibrant, the colors will be more noticeable, and these people that have more breaths are able to discern color more around them, so they're able to discern very small nuances in changing color. And it's just really interesting. There's a lot of characters. Yeah, it's quite interesting, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with this, and hopefully once I finish that I might do a review video. So this one is part of that passionate criteria. So overall, I think it really has been a really good reading week for me, one that I've really enjoyed everything that I've read, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with this Bookemon Readathon. I found that it's really kind of pushed me to grab a couple of things that I've been meaning to read, and also to get in some more of those graphic novels that have been sitting there. I've got so many sitting at the moment, mostly from my library, but I'm really enjoying kind of trying some different things at the moment that I might not normally give a go, because with comics not being distributed at the moment, it's forced people to find things that have been out for quite some time, find things that are not brand new, that have been out for a long time and really stand the test of time. So that's what I read this week, and if you've read any of those and have any thoughts and opinions, please comment below. I'd love to hear. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and if you would like to know when I post videos, please click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching.